Okay, we should be going live in a couple minutes, in a little bit. Here we go. And welcome to the program. This is Zachary Lee Erickson. Sorry about that. Otherwise, and this is ShowDown Radio Show, episode 9. I'm videotaping this for YouTube here later. It's worth a shot. Anyway, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I know it's been about, 4 months? Yeah. Sorry, I had some personal stuff to take care of. And then I had to get some fails straightened out because I was going to be, I was getting out of the Navy. I actually just got out of the Navy about a month ago and I'm looking for a job right now. And I figured since I have some free time, I might as well do one of my shows. It's probably not going to be a long show, as I said before, but this camera, and I hope it's working. And I also have an audio version, which is live right now. Anyway, we're just going to talk about what's going on in politics like usual. Also, I don't know what else. We'll see how it goes. I'm just giving you an update and letting y'all know. For those who listen to my show, appreciate it. And sorry, it's been a while, but as I said, I've been very busy. Anyway, as you can see, I have my computer set up and my TV over here with some stuff. Back here, let me zoom in a little bit on the TV. If you guys can see that. Sorry, I'm shaking this. There's me, Zachary Lee Erickson, and my website. Well, not my website, but my show on speaker. See that? We're going to look at a variety of topics. Hopefully my Zoom works on here pretty good so we can look at some of this stuff. Because, as I said, we're going to have fun. Anyway, let's give this a shot. So, 2016 presidential campaign, running for president, right? And we all know that a lot of people have dropped out of the race, especially on the Republican side. I mean, basically, you have Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton on the Democratic side, and they're fighting tooth and nail with each other. But also on the Republican side, last time I was with y'all, I believe it was Scott Walker, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, and John Kasich, however you say his name. And as you well know, it's been dropped down significantly for Republicans. It's Donald Trump in the lead, Ted Cruz, and John Kasich. I personally think somebody needs to drop out. I don't care if it's Trump, I don't care if it's Kasich or Cruz, but this is just causing too much catastrophe. And we all know that most likely there's going to be a contested convention at the GOP convention to see who becomes the nominee. So, with that in mind, anyway, we're going to look at a couple articles on one of the candidates, and billionaire, businessman, whatever you want to call him, Donald Trump, the Trump. Okay, let's see here. Article appearing in USA Today on politics, and it says Donald Trump hires ex-Scott Walker campaign boss. So, let's see what he goes on to say. After being blamed for running Governor Scott Walker's short-lived presidential campaign into the ground last year, GOP political operative Rick Wiley is now found a politician with deeper pockets. I'm not going to read all of it because you can all look at it. Hopefully I don't get charged with any copyright. So there's that. Um, let's go to the next here. 2016 election from CNN. Hopefully they don't mind me looking at this. Politics, as I sure it says, they run a poll to see who might be the nominee. John Cage has 2%, of course. 52% with Donald Trump in the lead. He still needs like 700 more delegates, I think. Let me, don't quote me on that. Then Cruz in the second. Now for the Democratic nominee, we have Bernie Sanders at 11% and 89% for Hillary Clinton. Most likely she's going to be a candidate because one, Bernie Sanders is very popular these days, but he's not going to get as much support as Hillary Clinton. We all know that. Oh, and then you have the article where Paul Ryan, people have been wondering that at a contested convention at the GOP party that Paul Ryan could become the eventual nominee. Well, he's been saying for a while now. To count him out, he has no interest in running. So yeah, I guess he's gonna try and stay as Speaker of the House as long as he can. Anyway, I know I'm just going through this stuff really fast. I'm just doing this, and I'll have another show later on where I will have more time to do this. But yeah, let's look at some other national news. What else is going on in the world? Give me a second. So I hope everyone's been good. While I'm looking for this, some more stuff, just to go over real quick. I want. Oh, anyway. Anyway, we really don't need to go over any more news or anything. As I said, this is probably not going to be a long show, maybe half an hour at the latest. But it might go a little longer. We'll see. Sorry I've been a little busy. Sorry, I got preoccupied. Anyway, while I'm on the topic, actually, when we come back, we're gonna go over some other stuff. We'll be right back. We're gonna take a break for a minute. Just hold on. I need to work on this, I know. back to the ShowDown Radio Show, episode 9. I just want to take a few minutes and talk about veteran affairs. Because as a veteran myself, I only served 4 years, but I was glad I could do it. If I could do it over again, I would. But I don't know how to start. Let's just say, you know how we were big into letting all these refugees from Syria and stuff come to the States? Alright, sorry. Little camera incident here. We got adjust this. Really need to have someone to take video of this when I do this. Anyway, you know how we were talking about all the refugees that were trying to come over from Syria and everything, with everything that was going on, and the President Obama wanted us to do that. But I don't know. How should I go around this? I want to read a couple articles before I go into the articles. I want to say, before we even think of having any refugees come over here, which I'm all for, but there's a lot of other places they can go. I'm not against helping people in other nations from other nations and everything, but why should we be helping refugees when we have veterans on the streets with no place to go, and they're waiting on the VA or someone to provide them with the health care and the help they need? Our government's not really done much about it. Some people have, some people haven't. But it's annoying and it sucks. I'll just say it. Anyway, let's go back to my computer up here and let's look at some of these articles. Here's an article I want you all to go on the computer about. It says more than 300,000 veterans. More than 300,000 veterans died waiting on VA healthcare. That is not good. And anyway, it goes on to say, according to a new Department of Veteran Affairs Inspector General report, more than 300,000 American military veterans likely die while waiting for health care. That makes me mad. And nearly twice as many are still waiting. Yeah, because they can't get their stuff together. We should look out for our veterans. Man, if I was running for some office or something, I would at least do whatever I could. If I was a congressman or senator or governor or whatever I could, I would do whatever I could to help our veterans. Because they fought and died. Well, okay. You have people who spend 4 years, 8, 12, 20, however long they're in the military, risking their lives, and they get out and they're not welcomed, really. No one's helping them. It's sad. But anyway, as I said, before we have any help all the refugees from Syria or whatever, I know this is kind of old news, but still, makes me mad when I hear that a bunch of veterans, a bunch of my fellow brothers and sisters from the military are all waiting for benefits. It's wrong. We should be willingly doing whatever we could for these guys, because they signed the paper, they were willing to give their lives for freedom for all of us. So, on a side note, if you see a veteran, please thank them. Anyway, I'm not going to get into this much because I'm sure you hold it from a lot of other people. I'm not going to go into gun control again because I went off a couple other episodes ago. And my computer, sorry. Apparently my camera's about to die for some reason, so just hold on for a second. Sorry. I'm in a hotel room for the night, so I could do one of these, so I can do a show, And Sorry about that. Sometimes my computer likes to make a bunch of noise. Anyway, so let's see what else we can look up. No. Here's another article. I hope you can read that, but it's VA denying benefits to record number of veterans. I don't know what the heck is wrong with the VA, but they need to get those. So ever since the September 11, 2001 attacks on the Twin Towers, 9/11, there's at least 125,000 American veterans who had served our country being treated by the VA as though they had never put on a uniform. The Department of Veterans Affairs had ruled them ineligible for veteran benefits not because they didn't sacrifice, because they left the military without an honorable discharge. The stakes for this really could be higher. The VA doesn't recognize you as a veteran. Not only do you lose the dignity of acknowledgement of your service, but you lose that really basic service. I understand where they're going with this, because if you were discharged, if you got a dishonorable discharge for whatever you did and you had to do something really messed up to do that, yeah, I don't think you should get benefits, but that's my opinion. But nonetheless, remember that article I read to you about there was 300,000 veterans still waiting for health care or VA benefits? Yeah, that's just messed up. Anyway, I don't want to go into anything else now. I could go on for half an hour. I can go on up to 3 hours is my limit. But I hope to do more of these shows, and I have 10 more minutes. How about we take a break, and we'll be right back. This is ShowDown Radio Show. I'm your host, Zachary Lee Erickson. Zachary Lee, whatever. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Alright. Program. This is ShowDown Radio Show, Zachary Erickson, episode 9. Earlier we talked about the presidential election campaign, 2016 presidential campaign, where you had Donald Trump, John Kasich, Ted Cruz running on the Republican side, and Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders on the Democratic side. I talked a little bit about who's in the lead and everything. I know I didn't talk much. Sorry, I'm out of practice. And then we talked a little bit about Veterans Affairs and what was going on with our veterans. As I said, I'm a veteran myself, so a lot of this stuff that I've been reading and talking to you about I find offensive, that we're not caring for our veterans, but we're willing to care for people from other nations. And as I said, I have nothing against it. No, I don't. But I think a veteran and should come first priority. But what do I know? I'm just a 21-year-old man. Guess I'm not that smart, but whatever. Anyway, I was gonna talk about some other stuff, but I think I'm gonna take the next 9 minutes and talk to you about what's going on with my music and my history of Zach Erickson, which I'm sure I told you guys about. If not, I'll be working on this and posting it online soon. It's www.historyofzacherickson.com. What I plan on doing with that is going to different parks and national parks around the world and around the United States, namely look up United States history, some of that haunted history around us. In Virginia, there's a lot of that. My goal is primarily to focus on like the Civil War. It's all like the Civil War series. Still work in progress, and I'm gonna need some other stuff for that. But can't wait to share that with you, and I hope to be doing that here in the next couple months or so. Hopefully during summer. I was gonna do it for spring, but some stuff came up and we had to take care of it. Anyway, also with my music career, well, it's not really a career, it's a hobby, and I know a lot of people from my old ship and Wasp are wondering what's going on with that. A lot of my friends. Well, I'm working on it. I'm actually started working on a new rap, and I know a lot of you like my rap because it's funny and entertaining, and I'm glad I make you guys laugh. I really am. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. I may not be the greatest, but sorry, let me just put the camera here. I have fun. Anyway, my new rap, I haven't decided the title yet, but if I can get my music to load, I'll give you a little intro onto the music. Just bear with me for a second, it's loading right now. Anytime. So, come on, load. Sorry, computer's a little slow. I have my studio and I have several pages open. Alright, let me load it up for you. It's not done yet. It's, as I said, it's still a work in progress, but it should. I'll give you a little intro. Come on. Oops, wrong one. That's another project I'm working on. Load. Go to Music Magic Maker. I record. Live music. Right here. I think this is working now. Alright, here it is. I haven't decided the name yet, but I hope you like it. Alright, just give me a minute. My controller here is being a little weird.